Thank you, darling. Awesome. So we'll probably just get straight into it because we've got a lot to cover tonight, and I'm sure Nick popping on soon. Maybe her alarm didn't go off.
No, she's up. She's here.
Oh yeah, she is. I didn't notice her until just then. It's just a blank wall. So we're going to cover quite a bit today. As Patia and Nici are going to talk about recruiting, the social selling system, follow-ups, lots of different things. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is kind of the stuff that precedes that, which is basically getting people, getting eyes on your content and getting people to feel like they want to reach out to you. So I've got a bit of a PowerPoint that I'm going to walk you through, and I just made it today, so bear with me. It might be a bit bumpy. So just bear with me. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully I can do that. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yes.
Cool. So I've just, for want of a better word, I've called it attraction marketing, because that's what we want. The whole aim is for us to attract people to our content, right? So let me just minimize this. So I guess the question you've got to think about as well is, how would you feel, and really kind of think about this question, how would you feel if people started reaching out to you every single day? So you'd wake up in the morning and you have like a full inbox of messages asking you about your product, about the business opportunity, and just like lots and lots of messages. So if you follow what Nici, Patia and I have to talk about tonight, then that will happen. It's not going to be an overnight process. It is an overtime thing, but it definitely will happen. We're going to talk about a few little subjects. So one of them is to do more posts that add value, and I will give you some examples of these as well. Another one is not to mention your aura. So I've spoken to you a couple of times about this. It's not that you can't mention it at all, but the reason why we just say don't mention your aura is so that people don't go off and Google and find find their own way to buy your products. Check it. So the third one is checking out magazines at the checkout. Fourth one is Google is your friend. And the fifth one is be consistent. Okay, so I did a bit of field research, and I was kind of looking at a few different things. Let me just let my dog in because she's crying. She'll start barking. Come on, Daisy. Come on. Sorry, guys. So I was kind of thinking about a different way of how we could do things a bit differently and trying to think outside the box. So what I did was I went to the supermarket and I had a look at all the magazines. I saw all the magazines, you know, the ones that are at the checkout, the tills. And this is what I came across. So can you guys see me in the corner? I'm not sure if you can.
Yes.
Cool. So this is one magazine that I bought. And I'm probably not going to read it because I don't usually read these magazines. But this is a magazine called Who. It's got all these topics on the front. Kim's best body ever. How did she ditch kilos fast? Hottest diets. Half your size. Drop a dress size. All that stuff. It's pretty much just weight loss oriented. But if you go, when you do in the US, do you guys have magazines by the checkouts?
Yeah.
Cool. So if you go, when you're standing there in the queue, have a look at the magazines. And they will be, the reason why they're at the checkout, because they are the top grossing magazines that you'll get that are out there. Because they have content and headlines that pull people in, that make you want to buy these magazines. Things about skincare, things about celebrities, all this sort of stuff. So, like this, for example. Lovely little Jen Aniston there. This is a skincare magazine. So all I did was Google skincare magazine. And as you can see here, it's like erase your wrinkles. Transform your skin overnight. And if you actually do a Google search, you will be able to see kind of like, if you have a think about what kind of posts you want to put, and this is all based around popping posts up on your social media, and it could be like a Facebook live post or a status or anything like that, and it's all about creating value. So you've got those topics there which are really, really interesting and really kind of a pull. You want to be pulling people to you rather than repelling. And it's just making sense to everybody so far. Go sort of thumbs up or something. So I don't want to just ramble. Cool. So yeah, you want to be kind of pulling people towards you. So you've got these topics that are on your magazines. And if you actually do a Google, get one of those topics that resonates with you or you think is a good topic. And if you Google things like best tips for good skin, you're going to get all of these topics that you can talk about. Really, really simple. So this is an example for a status. You can put something up saying the key to having great skin. Do you suffer from skin issues? Here are a few industry secrets that can help you improve your skin. I came across an awesome article a little while ago that shared some industry secrets on having great skin, and I'm so happy that I came across it. I would love to share it with you. If you would like to know the deets, please feel free to private message me for the info. And people that want to have great skin or know that you've got good skin are going to be attracted to that. And look, as I said, it's not going to happen overnight for sure. You're not going to get 100 people messaging you, asking you for your details the next morning. But this is just a process. If you start doing these posts, you're going to get more followers. And the people that have like thousands of followers on Facebook, like Rachel Hollis, they didn't wake up one morning and have like, do a post like this the next morning, have like 3,000 followers or something like that. They had to do it as a process. It happens over months or years. Another way that you could actually do a YouTube post, not YouTube, sorry, a Facebook live post with this kind of topic is for you to go, you could say something like, do you ever struggle with your skin? Like, hi, I'm Lou Crawford. Do you ever struggle with your skin? Well, stick around. I'm going to give you some great tips that I found work for my skin, and this might help you out. And then you can say something like, the other day I was on this website and it was telling me about how important it was to drink 2 to 3 litres of water a day. It was so helpful. And if I don't actually drink that 2 to 3 litres of water, my skin actually shows it big time. If you'd also like to know the other skincare routine that I follow, shoot me a message and I'd love to share it with you. And the key in both of this status update and also in the Facebook Live that you've just done, notice it's really, really short, is there's no mention of network marketing, there's no mention of the product name or the products that you promote. And this will attract people. This is not offensive to anybody, and it will attract people and this will be a value post for people out there. People are going to, if you continue to do posts like this, people are going to see your posts as valuable and want to actually see more and more of them and eventually reach out. Okay. And you know what you can actually do? I'll just go back a second and just. So what you can actually do is when people reach out to you and they want to know your skincare routine, you can actually have a Word document printed up or written up, sorry, and you can find everything on Google and just 5 tips that are going to help you with having good skin. And that's the document that you can send to people. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be this amazing document. It can just be a simple document with 5 tips that you can send out to people. The goal isn't about the 5 tips. The goal is to get people to reach out to you because they're interested in skincare. Okay. So what we want in a post, and also even Facebook Live posts, is an intro first, a question, the content, and the call to action, which is the CTA. And the call to action is something like private message me for more info, reach out to get the goss, comment below, something really, really simple like that. So the question that I want to know as well, and drop me a comment in the chat if you can see the difference. Can you see the difference between buy my product, and what I'm actually showing you? I'd love to get some feedback. I don't know if I can actually see any comments or anything on here. the people are more likely to learn from you and want to get value from you than they are actually to stop and buy. Let's look at these comments. Awesome. Good. I'm glad I'm not, it's really difficult sometimes when you're kind of talking to a PowerPoint and you've got no faces showing you whether or not it's making sense. So thank you for that. So people are more likely to just kind of stop and go, oh, Anna's giving me some value here. Ali's giving me some value here. And rather than kind of see a post saying, hey, look, buy the skincare, it's amazing. Because people, and I talked a little bit about this at conference as well, people are not interested in what's in a product and what it is. All they want to know is what it can do for them. They want to know the value and the reason why they should buy it. The focus is on getting their attention and getting them to reach out to you. Okay, so Amazon, this is a bit of a weird angle. I went and had a look at Amazon and I looked at the books on Amazon, right? And I searched books up here. And in here, I put skincare. And this is an example of a book that came up, right? And for some reason, it's only got 5 customer views, but there are lots of other ones with like 200 views. And I couldn't find any books with, you know, sometimes on Amazon, you can buy used books and things like that and used bits and pieces. For some reason, I couldn't find anything on anything anywhere on Amazon today, so it was just playing up. But generally, the gist is to go onto a site like this, check out and look for a skincare book or article or magazine or something that has most reviews. If you get a skincare book that has a lot of used copies being sold, then that book is popular. So go in there and you can actually go and click here and look inside. And when you click look inside to this book, it's going to give you the list of contents. You can pick any of these here and make yourself a Facebook Live or make yourself like a post. It's like double cleansing. Perfect for us, right? Skin sunscreen for the US. Perfect. And these are the topics that people want to hear about. Also, another thing is skincare forums. Probably skincare forums. I went and had a bit of a squiz this afternoon. You go into these skincare forums and you can see what topic is the most popular. Natural beauty products. This is really popular. Makeup remover. There was one for skincare, for acne as well. So just go through the ones with the most comments. And then again, that is something that people are really interested in. So that is going to get you a lot more traction. The questions you could have, what if I have no followers? And you clearly need to start doing things that are going to make someone follow you, or not make, but cause somebody to follow you, want to follow you. And a really good question to ask yourself is, and this might sound a bit harsh, and it might sound a bit like, I don't mean to be mean, but would you follow yourself? Because if the answer is no, you need to be having a good look at your page and asking you why you wouldn't follow yourself. Because if you're not going to follow yourself, why would anybody else? And instead of going, oh, but nobody's posting, nobody's commenting on my page, and I'm not getting any traction, etc., etc. Instead of complaining about it, you need to kind of look at different things that you can actually do to make that happen for yourself. Because nobody's going to come along and do it for you. I would love it if they did. That would be amazing. But it's not going to happen. Okay, my final tips. Spend more time talking about their wrinkles and their anti-aging issues than our anti-aging products. People are never going to get bored of talking about their problems, they just won't. But they are going to get bored of hearing about our products. And the bottom line is, if you go to Amazon, beauty forums, Google skincare magazines, or check out the ones at the supermarket, you'll never ever run out of high-value headlines for your Facebook Lives, your status updates that can help you to create engaging content. And that is pretty much it. I mean, let me stop the share. Obviously, you still want to be popping the before and afters, and because that attracts attention, right? When people see those before and afters, they're like, wow, I want to know what's happening. So I'm not saying don't stop doing that at all, but maybe instead of just posting post after post after post after post after post of before and afters about the products, maybe start trying to attract people and and actually being strategic in your posts and thinking about what people want to see rather than going, hey, look, my night cream's amazing. We all know it's amazing, but they don't care until they get it on their skin and see it for themselves. Make sense?
Great advice, Lou.
Thanks, lovelies. Hope you're feeling better. So that's my little bit. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you have any questions or anything, or if you want any screenshots from any of the blurbs, let me know and I'm happy to provide it to you.
What I've also been doing that's been on the social media realm is Amber Olson Rourke has been doing the social media boot camps. And every week, I personally need to know more information about Instagram, for example. So I have been going on every week, and I don't watch them live. I think they're Wednesdays never mind, time difference there anyway. But
I've been catching up on them too, Patia, and they're amazing. She's really good.
They're really, really, really good information of just how to grow your market, how to grow your followers, how to provide great content. So that's just something else to piggyback on. And they're really, really easy to listen to. And you can kind of listen to it. Well, it depends on how you're listening, but you can even listen and work on your phone at the same time, like do what she's doing.
That's good advice. Those social media boot camps are awesome. She is amazing.
Yeah.
Amber is incredible. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm learning a lot about Instagram that way. And like you said, Lou, it's just about growing content that interests people. And you're exactly right. People are more interested in talking about what their problems are versus what our products are. So I love that. Thank you for putting that out there. Okay.
My pleasure.
Do you want me to go ahead and go, Nikki? Okay. So I want to talk a little bit tonight. Recruiting is, if you want to make, that next level of pay, if you want to go on the trip to Vietnam, you're going to have to start bringing people into the business. And these are different ways that Nikki and I have found to be successful with bringing people in the business. So we kind of just wanted to go over some different ways. Now, I know Lou has asked you guys to write out 10 names of people that you want to do this business with and some party dates. So parties are kind of like, some people love them and some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous to do a party. Well, I'm so nervous to do a party person. So that's who I am. And I've done them over and over because I know that when you get out of your comfort zone, that's when big things happen. It always does. I came from a party personally, Shallon Murphy. I know a lot of you guys know her, but she's my friend from high school or middle school, and she had a party, and I was one of those guests. Now, I'm telling you, when you're on the other side of getting invited to a party, it's not like, oh my gosh, another party. It's, you go to support your friends. I mean, if you use the words like, come over, let's have, for example, next week I'm having a mommy mimosa party because the school year is ending here in the States. And so I'm having a celebration. Well, of course, mommies want to celebrate, and so I'm having a fun party that is geared around what they want. Again, like Lou said, what they want and what their concerns are. And I'm having just some friends over to celebrate the school year. So I want you to know that parties do work. They're going to be more bang for your buck. They just will. You get more people in. You're not talking one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. So if I have any recommendations for you guys is to get a couple events on the books. Don't call them a party. You can just have people over. I mean, I've done where I have had my neighbors come over in their PJs and wash their skin before they go to bed. Have a glass of wine, do it that way. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't show videos. You show some before and after photos. You share about your love and excitement, because one thing that I know to this day, it happened when I first started and it's still to this day. If I don't show my excitement and my love and my enthusiasm for what I have, people buy from you and they love you and they want, they see your skin obviously, but it's you and your excitement that radiates to them. So just be excited, have fun with it, and see what happens. So that's kind of my first tip, is definitely put those parties on the books, because you're going to have, what I'm doing for the trip for us to Cabo is like, I want to have, 400 points a week. I went and broke down the points of how, and if you guys are serious about getting there, I would recommend breaking down what you have versus what you need for the rest of the duration, and break it down how much you need a month and how much you need a week. And so my goal is 400 points a week. So a party is definitely going to get me there the fastest way. And I can go around the situation, but I just know that parties are going to help me get there fast. And even I could have more than 400 points a week, honestly, if I had one party. So, so that's my first advice. And then secondly, I would definitely talk to my preferred customers. So I have over 5 years had, a splother of customers. Customers already believe in our products. Okay, so what's going to say that they don't believe in our business? Like, I think our business is the best product we have. So Lou says, how do you get your party attendees? Where do you find them? That's a good question. So let me answer that first before I go into PC and VP conversion. So with parties, for example, this party that I'm having, I have met, and Nikki's going to go over more about growing your market, but I am continuously growing my market with people that I personally know. So for example, everybody's lifestyle is different. I have young kids. So everything is, when I say, might not resonate with you, but you have to find things that you can find different ways of doing it yourself with your time and your family and all of that. But for example, I go, to the library a lot with my kiddos. Well, I end up seeing the same people. Okay. So if it's not the library and mommy groups, then it's, you go to, over in the States, again, it's different over there, but we have places like networking groups that I can go and meet people. So I do women networking groups, or I do hobbies that I love and I'm around people. It's always because I've been in this business for 5 years. So if you haven't been in this business for very long, you probably already have a huge pool of people to talk to, your friends and family. But for me, I've already talked to my friends and family about this multiple times. They've either done the business with me, used the products, don't care at all. So I have to meet new people all the time. And I have to, the moment I meet people, I stir up conversation, I get to know them. And I'm like, let's connect on Facebook. So we connect on Facebook, and then I instantly, continuously grow relationships that way. But for the Mommy and Mimosa party, I'm honestly going through all of my new connections that I've recently found and talked to and met. And I am completely just inviting them all over. So that's, what I have found to be the best way is just a simple text message. You can do cute flyers, and I'm always so tempted to do cute flyers because I love them. But honestly, just a simple text message. Hey, I'm having some mommies over. I'm having some friends over. I'd love to see you. I want to pamper you. Come over for some free wine. Like so simple, so easy. But it's all a numbers game. So this business is all numbers. I hate to say it, but the more people you talk to, the more people you're going to get over to your house, and the more people that you're going to get into your business, and the more people you're going to get in for friendships. So, or for PCs. I don't know why I said friendships. It's early. But you have to, it's all a numbers game. So I'm going to invite 40 people to get possibly 10 people to say yes. And then I'm going to get maybe 5 people in the room. And honestly, do not ever cancel a party if you have one person, because one person actually could be that one person that takes your business to the next level. So back to PC converting brand partners. This is where I have found a lot of success because they, like I said, they already believe in the product. and they already know. And to be honest, they probably have already shared it organically without even realizing that they're doing the business. Like people are probably asking them, like, what you do different? You know, did you get your hair cut? They don't even realize themselves that it's their skincare products that are working. And then also they're feeling their skin and they're like, oh my gosh, my skin feels so awesome. And they're naturally talking to their friends and family about it. They're doing the business. So yes, you get your PCs taken, you know, in one sense, like, okay, if you convert a PC to a BP, then yes, you don't have the 9 PCs, but go get another preferred customer. It's so much more easier than getting a brand partner. And with the brand partner, you're going to start making commissions off what they do. You're going to start getting points for the Vietnam. Every auto shipment that they have, you get different things like that. You do want more, you want brand partners, because once they're in, they might think to themselves, okay, well, I could totally make some money on this. Or there's so many people that are higher up in this company that started because they wanted free product, because they loved our products first, and then they got into the business and fell in love with the business, the culture, the support, all of that. So that is like, you know, go to your customers and start talking to them if they want free products. Start inviting them to your parties. Start third-party tools, like just naturally just plugging them with different pieces that will interest them into becoming a brand partner. And my biggest piece of advice when getting brand partners too, because I have been in this for so long, like when I first started, I was so excited. And I you know, the business is amazing, but I know that I over-talked and oversold the business where they didn't even want to do it with me. The biggest piece of advice is just take it slow with them, because people don't see what we know. They don't get it. Until they're in, they just don't. So, you know, just start slow. Hey, let's get you some free products, girl. Like, you're already spending $200 a month. Like, this kit's the best one. Let's just get you some free product. And just kind of make it light and fluffy for a second. Now, if there's people that you instantly know they're entrepreneurs and they would understand this, then all more power to you. But a lot of people just don't. I understood it, but I'm a rarity. You know, people, I saw this as a complete moneymaker, but a lot of people don't. So just kind of take that piece for what you want. And then one more thing that I wanted to challenge you guys on is, we know our products work. We know that our products sell themselves. So get them, like when I was working full time, I would use our sample process as a way of pretty much working when I was working. I mean, those tools are working for us. So I would challenge you guys, like I know people that you think, oh my gosh, I could never talk to her about this at all. And you feel nervous about it, but you know that if she got it in her hands, that she would love this stuff, or she would be a great person to do this business with, but she's very intimidating. An influencer can be on social media, of course, but there's also influencers right in our town that have tons of connections and tons of people that they know. They're, you know, they're just an influencer. They talk to a lot of people. They get around. And so top five influencers that you personally know that, you know, have a lot of friends. You might be nervous talking to them, but get those samples in their hands and be like, hey, I have free samples this week, and I thought of you and thought maybe you want to give it a try. Because we know our products work. And if you that's kind of a non-abrasive way and an easy way to not feel as nervous with getting this product and this business really into the hands of someone that could totally love this and do it with you. So those are kind of my tips in a nutshell. Did you have any questions? No? Okay. Yeah, even reach out to Instagram influencers. Exactly. Make connections on Instagram and Facebook and reach out to them and send free samples. Okay, so Nici, you're up.
I have a question, sorry.
Yeah.
Have you thought about LinkedIn? You know, I see a lot of things happening on LinkedIn these days. and I honestly don't know how to use it. I get a lot of connection requests from people that lead generations and things like that, and coaches and things like that. But I do know that some people have had success with LinkedIn. Do you know anything about it at all?
The only thing that I know, I'm not an expert on LinkedIn at all, but over the years I have dripped in it on and off. That's probably not the best thing. You need to probably be pretty consistent, but ways that I have been able to find people. So of course you can post, that's not going to hurt you, but that's not even what I'm saying, what I'm doing. So I go on LinkedIn and I go up to the connections and I search. And what's awesome is that you can find people that are your first and second and third connections and tiers of people. So I click on a box that says my first, I think it's first and second, and I type in beauty, or I type in hairstylist, or I type in anyone in that section. Really, that's the only one that I've really dabbled into, is anyone in the beauty industry. So massage therapist, hairstylist, all of that. And then it pops up, and your first connections you possibly not even talked to about it, and they're already friends with you, and they're in the beauty industry. So obviously reach out to them. But if they're the second and third connection, you can definitely just add them and say, hey, I see that we're friends with Sarah together. I'd love to share. I'm in the beauty industry as well, and I'd love to share some information with you. Or not even that, you just start conversation and say, well, how long have you been doing it? Just start to gather some relationship with them and some rapport and see kind of what happens from it. The only thing that I have noticed with that industry on LinkedIn, though, is they're not on. A lot of people aren't on LinkedIn a lot. The LinkedIn professionals is like a sales rep, and that's a great tool too, because sales reps do great in this business. And so sales reps, if they're goal-oriented and they're motivated, they could be a great target to talk to on LinkedIn in regards to just a business opportunity for sales.
Thank you. That's awesome advice.
Okay.
I think there's a way to search other countries and stuff too, because I know it came up at one point. We talked about LinkedIn, like as we've expanded to other countries. So sometimes it can be a way to connect with people in other countries that we're in also.
Yep. All right.
All right. Well, I am, just kind of piggybacking on what both Patia and Lou have talked about. My specifics are really going to be also with growing your market, but in a little bit different way. And then, with obviously the reach out piece and following up. So as far the part of growing your market that I was going to talk about was really growing, like, for example, growing the amount of friends that you have on Facebook, and how you can tap into different markets in different areas organically, also kind of like, Patia and Lou talked about. So for me, when I first started with Miora 4 years ago, I was not very active on Facebook at all. I never posted. I just more used it. I scrolled through it and looked at what other people were doing. So, and my friends list was not very big either. I mean, I had maybe a few hundred friends on my friend list. So those were things, again, didn't happen overnight. Like Lou mentioned, I have grown that over time. So I went from having, just like 200 or 300 Facebook friends when I first started to now having over 4,000 Facebook friends. And I mean, again, it wasn't like I added 4,000 people overnight. It's 5 people a day. And so I definitely encourage all of you to add, if you haven't been, be adding, 5 new people a day. Facebook, the majority of the way that I have done it is just, every day you get on Facebook and it's going to pop up suggested people you might know. And that's based off of the connections you already have. So anytime that I get on there and I see a suggested person that I might know that we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 mutual friends in common, I'm going to add them. And I've just started to do that consistently. I make sure I do that every single day. And another way that I have been growing and adding people, not just based off of that, because obviously a lot of those people are people that are in my town or have lived in my town at some point, but I have really been making a conscious effort to join different groups on Facebook that revolve around certain things that I am interested in or that I need information on. So, for example, I'm in a working moms group. I am in some gymnastics parents group. And I just naturally meet and connect with people on completely, non-Neora related things, and just connect with them that way. My daughter is going to have surgery on her elbow and the condition that she has. There actually is a Facebook group for what she has. So I joined that, and I've just been connecting with people and asking them questions and information about their experiences and stuff with it. I've gotten multiple new. Yesterday in the working moms group, somebody actually posted a picture about how self-conscious she is about her body, and that she's just accepted the fact that that her, stomach is going to look like that forever. The minute I saw the picture, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, our firm cream could help her so much. But I did not reach out with regards to the firm cream, because I don't even know her. And I think that people don't, if they don't know you, they're not necessarily going to trust you and your product. Because I can guarantee that there were probably 100 other people that threw their product at her. So instead, I shot her a message and just said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for your, post in the working moms group. I, completely relate. Thank you for being vulnerable. I'm sure that helped, so many other moms feel a little bit better to know that they're not the only ones that feel that way, or, just something like that, which was me being honest, because I thought it was really, cool that she put that out there. And I sent her a friend request when I sent the message to make sure that she would see my message. And we just started having a conversation about that back and forth. And she ended up accepting my friend request, and that's that for right now. So I have not, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, maybe she'll organically see, at some point, some of my firm cream pictures and be like, oh, wow, I think this is something that could help me. But I'm not going to throw that at her right away. I am building that relationship first. And so I've done, just like I've connected with 2 other gymnastics moms on Facebook whose daughters are the same age as my daughter, do gymnastics. They both had the same surgery that she's going to be having. And I've just connected with them. I've been asking them questions about the surgery and about their daughters and things like that. We're now Facebook friends. I am seeing their stuff and liking their stuff. I know that they're in turn seeing my stuff, and liking some of my personal stuff. So I know that they're just naturally and organically starting to see some of what I'm doing, but I have not reached out, and I'm not going to throw it at them right away when we're just, kind of working on building that relationship. So there's kind of 2 sides to it. So there's that piece as far as, kind of growing your market, adding new people, working to make those new connections with people that have similar interests and things, that, you build those relationships first before you would ever, throw anything, Neora related at them. Let it happen more organically with that. But then on the flip side, there are the people that you have been, Facebook friends with for a while, or, after you've been Facebook friends with them for a while. Don't hesitate to reach out and suggest, that they take a look at this. And that's how I got introduced to it. I know Patia talked about how she came from a party. I came from an old coworker of mine who, it wasn't like we were best friends or anything. We knew each other from work. And she had we hadn't even worked together in 9 or 10 months. She had moved away to a whole different state. and we were Facebook friends, and that was really it. And she just reached out to me and just said, hey, have you ever thought of this, newer thing I'm doing? I think you'd be great. That was really it, not super overthought or anything. And all it did was get my wheels turning and get me thinking. I had not ever thought of it. And to be honest, I had maybe seen some of her posts off and on, but I scrolled right past and didn't think it was anything that I would ever be interested in. So I would have never, ever, ever reached out to her about it if she had not piqued my interest and tapped me on the shoulder first. So I think that is also important to remember, is that don't wait for people to come to you. I recently was talking to a brand partner. I had asked them of mine to, gather lists and stuff too. And she said, well, I don't really have very many people that, have shown an interest with me or yet. And I'm like, no, that's not the point. It's not people that have shown an interest with you. It's people that you want to do this with you. 10 people that come to mind that you want to do this. It doesn't matter if they've shown an interest ever or not. Just 10 people that come to mind, because you don't know what people are looking for, and you don't know that they might just be scared to reach out to you, or that they're just busy, or that it really has never even crossed their mind. So make sure that you are also going to people and not waiting for them to come to you. Because I have countless examples of brand partners that I have on my team that it was because I reached out to them first. And yeah, like Patia said, just be real and honest. I don't reach out to them, or when, like Elizabeth didn't reach out to me and was like, join my team, you totally need, it was just, hey, have you ever thought about this? If there's somebody that's on your mind that you want to do this business, tell them, and tell them why. Just be, if you're flattering somebody, and if you're complimenting them with and pointing out the characteristics that they have as to why they're on your mind and to why you think they would be great at this, nobody's going to be mad about that. And so make sure, and, just tell them, hey, I know, you're super positive, and I love, following your posts. Have you ever thought about doing this, Neora thing that I do for some extra income? And then also, to go along with that, just because like somebody comes back and says something that maybe could be read as a no, don't just be like, oh, okay, no big deal, and just leave it at that. Because my response to Elizabeth when she asked if I had ever thought about it was, nope, I don't sell things. So there are so many people that would have taken that as a, oh, okay, no big deal, and left me alone and not done anything more with it. But, she came, she said, oh, it's really different than that. It's really more about sharing and educating, because the products really sell themselves. And then she went in and offered a third-party tool. She said, could I at least just send you a sample of the night cream to try, and maybe a video to check out? Let's see, is it being real and honest to befriend someone that you're really targeting as a customer rather than a friend? Just being honest with my thoughts. That's a great question. Yeah, I never look at it that way. And to be honest, you shouldn't either, because, for example, I know Lou just popped up, same with me as far as, how she was, that she came back and gave me some objections and stuff. I don't look at it as though I'm only targeting them for a customer or whatever. I look at it as though, like, how could I help them, or that I know I have these products that could help them, or I know I have this business that could help them. So it's not that I don't feel that way at all, that like, oh, I'm just, trying to build this relationship to sell them a product. I'm building this relationship so that I can help them with something that's going to help their skin, or that I know could benefit them, financially, or help them grow as a person, or whatever it is they might be needing. Lou is a perfect example of that with me. Who would have known that I would have found a best friend on the other side of the world, all because of sharing these products. So I think it's just all in how you look at it. And to be honest, if you are looking at it in the sense that you're just, trying to sell somebody a product or trying to get them to join your team, it's probably not going to be that successful. You have to think of it more in, one of the biggest pieces of advice is, flipping your mindset and, thinking of it in the sense of who can I help next? And if you think about it in the sense of who I can, who can I help next, whether it be with the product or who can I help next, whether, with regards to the business, it's going to completely change the way that you share it and the way that you come off to people. So I 100% genuinely and organically, when I am sharing it with somebody, I know that it's something that could help them. And that is, so I think it's just all in how you think about it and all in your approach with that piece.
Can I just interject there and kind of tag on to what you're saying, Nici, about that? So, I mean, it is a really, really good question, and I'm glad that you asked that, Karina, because it is about kind of, we know that we have this amazing product and we know that we have this amazing business opportunity. And so, yes, you can start to network with people and create those relationships. And yes, of course, you have that in the idea, you have the idea in your head that this might be something amazing that could help them. Nobody knows what's going on in other people's lives. They might be praying and hoping and wishing at night for something to help their skin. They might be praying and wishing and hoping for something because they have no money to support their family. So you can't kind of be selfish and hold it to yourself and just kind of don't think that you're being dishonest by just adding them as a friend with a focus. Because if you're thinking that you just want to sell to them, that's not the whole idea of Neora. That's not the idea of Neora. The whole idea of Neora is about integrity and about the fact that we do have these products and amazing business opportunity. But on the flip side, if you feel disingenuous by actually adding people and building that relationship, if that doesn't work for you, by all means, actually just shoot people a message, random people a message, interact with people in groups and things, and just say to them, hey, look, noticed your post in the Dogs R Us page or whatever it is. Really loved your dog. I'm going to be straight here. I'm just wondering, you seem like a really positive person. I'm just wondering if you're open to, if you keep your options open with regards to alternative income streams, if it doesn't interfere with what you're doing now. If that fits you better, say less to more people. Obviously, that's a quicker process, but if you want to do that, you're going to have to chuck out a whole lot more messages to get the results. And you'll probably get a whole lot more no's, but you're throwing out more messages. So that's just comes with the territory, I guess. But I hope that makes a bit of sense. And I just wanted to kind of back you up and say about the business and about the products and about where we're coming from as a heart and the Neora.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thank you. I mean, yeah, the company motto is making people better. So, when I think, if you think about it in that sense, then it makes it, the approach just totally different, yeah. So again, I'm not being disingenuous, or whatever, when I'm adding all of these new people. I'm thinking, in my mind, like this, who knows that, this next person that I'm adding or this next person that I'm connecting with, this could be exactly what they've been looking for, just like it was for me. Or maybe, who knows what they're struggling with. So I think it really just has to do with that whole mindset piece and that approach. And then to go along with, that growing your market, adding new people, reaching out, is, following up is huge piece of it. Ask Lou how many times I followed up with her. And it was probably over a nearly 4-5 month period. I think we first started chatting in like March, and she didn't join the business until August. And there were many times that she, yes, ignored me, did not respond back to me. So I think a lot of times too, we connect, or we reach out to people, or we've shared some information with people, and then at some point they maybe don't respond back, and then we never ever contact them again. But a lot of times it's either because they're scared, like Lou just mentioned, or because they're busy. I was somebody, I didn't necessarily respond a couple times right away to Elizabeth, and it was just because I didn't see it as a priority. And I was super busy with a full-time job and my 3 kids, and it was more like, I'll get back to her when I have time. But as she, followed up with me again, then it was like, oh, okay, I better check this out, or, oh, I better take a look at this. So I have, again, countless examples of, I mentioned I have countless examples of people who, have eventually become brand partners or customers over time. But in addition to that, same with the following, or who have become brand partners because I initially reached out to them. And then on the same side as that, there are a lot of people that have eventually become brand partners or customers from multiple follow-ups. I have brand partners that I followed up with off and on for a year or more. And again, just being real and honest, if somebody hasn't responded back, if we were talking and they were maybe showed a little interest or had some questions or whatever, and then I follow up at some point, they don't respond back, I don't cross them off my list forever. I keep them on my list, and I'll come up with an excuse to drip on them again at another point. Maybe the next month there's a Facebook Live or a call or something that was, that's going on. And I use that as an excuse to reach out to them and say, hey, this is going on and I thought of you, will you have a few minutes tonight to jump on and check it out? Something like that. I have a girl that's a brand partner of mine now that I invited her to multiple local market parties. I invited her to listen on multiple calls and things like that. And this was definitely over a year's time. And each month I would reach out, about something else and just be like, I'm not sure if it's still on your mind at all, but thought you might want to check this out. And, a lot of times there were crickets. But I don't think it's ever awkward or weird if you're reaching out to offer them something or to share something with them or give them something. And sometimes I'll put it out there like, hey, totally not trying to be a pest, but I wanted to make sure and share this with you if it was still on your mind at all, things like that. So just having it, or maybe there's some like this month, here we have a special startup kit that's for May only. So that would obviously be a perfect opportunity to reach out. Or maybe, if you want to do your own special of some kind, if you've got an extra bottle of some kind of product or whatever, and, just use that as an excuse. Like, hey, anybody who, gets started this month gets a bonus bottle of night cream or whatever. Anything you want to find to use as an excuse to reach out and kind of rekindle that conversation. And then sometimes, one of the biggest tips of advice that I have learned in interacting with potential brand partners, potential customers, or existing customers, and is to always end in a question. End your conversations in a question. So if you've got somebody that you've talked to at one point about the business and haven't really heard much from them in a while, just straight up ask them if it's still something they're thinking about. Just a simple, hey, is this, Neora thing still on your mind for some extra income? Just something simple like that, find out if it's still something that they're thinking about. So yeah, I think those are some of my main tips as far as, growing your market in different ways, and reaching out as far as, don't wait for people to come to you, and also posting. Don't be afraid to post about the business, but don't post about, don't post a picture of the startup kit all the time and with the price listed right on it. Because again, kind of like Lou talked about, you want people to, that's why she mentioned, not mentioning Neora all the time, because you want people to have to come to you. You don't want to give them all the information in your post, because you want them to have to interact with you to get the information. So, you know, again, just real organic type posts on what it's doing for you, maybe what you used your paycheck for this month, you know, just real organic things that, you know, people out there could relate to, not just, you know, buy this startup kit, join my team, whatever type posts, but more real organic type things that draw people in to seeing like, oh wow, you know, she's paying for her daughter's gymnastics with this. Oh wow, she's paying off her medical bills with this. Like, maybe this is something I should take a look at. Anybody else have anything to add? Anybody have any questions? Patia, Lou?
That was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, all great advice. Well, we hope that was helpful for everyone. And you guys can always ask us questions offline, and I'll have this recorded so people can listen to it that we're not able to jump on. And yeah, anything else, guys?
No, that was awesome. Thank you. But actually, one more thing before we go, can I just take a picture of everybody?
Yeah.
And just kind of like just a big smile, just do a print screen. I'm not sure if Kate is coming on. I'm not sure if Christy and Karina are there. So maybe we'll give them a couple of seconds. Yay! Let's see. Oh, awesome. All right, so after, so 1, 2, 3, and then I'll press it, okay? So big smiles. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, ladies. You all rock. You're bloody awesome.
Have a good night, ladies.
Thanks, ladies. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Dave.